off 0-2 on. Yeah, so we start off 0-2 on. Basically, yeah, so we start off 0-2 because we're just like this. We start off 0-2, and so the shuffler. Well, there was technical issues. The shuffler. Well, there was technical issues, and there was also some other issues. So we have all that going on. There was also some other issues. So basically, our opponent quit as well. Our one win. And so basically, our opponent quit. That's kind of what we got going on here. So, all right. So let me see something for a second. Make sure everything's up and running. So yeah, literally like Randy Savage. Yeah, that's basically the shuffler. I'll get into the gameplay, but yeah, it's the shuffler.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Outside interference, yeah. In my moment of glory, yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare. Interference, yeah. In my moment of glory, yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare.
Alright, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into a match. Our deck. Our deck. Right here, let me see. It's called Screw Goblins. Alright. Alright, so the deck right here, view it as a Simic ramp deck, okay? Now I've reset the MTG client. View it as a Simic ramp deck, okay? Now I've reset the MTG client. Okay, so now that you're viewing it as a Simic ramp deck, okay, so now that you're viewing it as a Simic, it changes everything, right? So cultivate because you can out ramp them. It changes everything, right? So cultivate because you can out ramp them. Then you have Ugin, which a lot of people just are not playing with anymore, because of Goblins win. So there's basically 4 decks in the format. There's Goblins. There's So there's basically 4 decks in the format. There's Goblins. There's Goblins. There's rakdos, Jund Sacrafice, and basically there's Goblins. There's rakdos, Jund Sacrafice, and basically there's rakdos, Jund Sacrafice. Yeah, and then you have Sultai control. Well, view this as a Simic ramp deck. Yeah, and then you have Sultai control. We have cultivates. View this as a Simic ramp deck. To out ramp. But just view this as a Simic ramp deck. And then basically we have Carnage Tyrant, really Swiss Army knife card, right? It's a Swiss Army knife card. And then basically we have it can't be countered. It's got hexproof. It's got trample. Great versus blue-white control, and also versus Sultai. It's got hexproof. The only way they can kill it with is with the extinction event. Also have shifting Ceratops on the sideboard. Can't be countered. Pro blue gets through Euro Titan, gets through Shark Typhoon. And that does pretty well. It's a mediocre card versus Sultai, because they can kill it with some of the kill spells, but they can't kill it with Eliminate. They have to use Heartless Act. And then Grook's Harbinger. So, again, Witch's Vengeance, creatures of a chosen type of your choice get -3/-3 till end of turn. Is a 3-drop, good versus Goblins. So view this as a Simic ramp deck with some black in there. Okay. So view this as a Simic. So if that helps, let me know if the audio is okay. By the way. Because I'm getting kind of static feedback on my end. I don't know if that's coming to you. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it. But yeah, so I had to reset the client server. You can go watch my previous video if you enjoy a rant. Usually I'm not like that. We're 1-2. I'll explain why. First match, we had a technical difficulty. Put that lightly. And then we got no land. So, the second game, the first match, we Euro Titan 3 times, Growth Spiraled once. We were We only drew one land out of all that. We got a win because our opponent quit. They didn't get land. So basically, the shot I had to just reset everything. Got a win because our opponent and do all that type of stuff. So basically, the shot that's what I had to do. So that explains everything. All right. So I'm sorry if you got a bunch of notifications and everything like that, but the shufflers determine literally all 3 games. Our opponent quit. All right. So I'm sorry if you got a bunch of notifications. It's just everything like that, but the shufflers determine. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead, jump right into the gameplay. It's just everything like that. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead, jump right into the gameplay. All right, so here we go. Bam. But I just thought I'd explain that. All right, so our opponent goes first. Like, yeah, we'll keep it. Come on, shuffler. Our opponent goes first. Like, yeah, we'll keep it. Don't make us do this. Yeah. Don't make us do this. Okay. Okay. Alright, so that'll come into play tapped. So far, it's been all Jun. Okay, so this is the Goblin deck. So, I have not playtested. In playtesting, I was 6-1. Not versus Goblins, just in general. Alright, so let's grab. Let's see. Let's grab. Eek, we do need a green in our hands. We do need a green in our hands. We're gonna go with blue. Okay. We're just gonna drop. Well, this prospector can just get crazy here. So we have 2 choices. We can kill the prospector, or we can go ahead and just sack land. We can thoughtseize them. Oh, never mind. So. Let's just do this. And again, if the audio's not that great, just let me know. Right. Yeah, these Fable passes just really slowing us down here. Alright, so you can have a War Chief in there. There's a lot of things, so we'll just kill that. Because of the Fable passage coming into play tapped, I'm not able to get to his hand. That would have been a good card. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's do cultivate here. Green. Yes, cultivate here. Blue. Green. Get that green right there. Let's get that hand. Yep, take that. Let's get that hand. Alright. So he's a Willy Goblin. Or Wily Goblin. Alright. So he's a Willy Goblin. Alright, so we got some mana here. Yep, let's drop down Nissa. Shaking that roll, maybe a little bit more. Shaking that roll, maybe a little bit more. Slide right up in there. Slide right up in there. And one this round. Yep. And basically, they can tap this, add X +1/+1 red creatures, where X the number of goblins they have. They can tap this, so there's a broken combo here. They only need 1 card to get it. So there's a broken combo here. That's why Goblins is the #1 best deck. And a lot of people are playing Rakdos. That's why Goblins is the #1 best deck. And a lot of people are playing Rakdos. Pass the blockers. Kill Willy Goblin. Pass the blockers. See how this deck can just get crazy. Alright, so yeah, we need to draw into like extinction events. Crazy. Alright, so yeah, we just need to thin our deck out as fast as we can. Thin that bad boy out. We just need to thin our deck out as fast as we can. Alright. Thin that bad boy out. Euro Titan. Drop this down. Could I Euro Titan again? Untap. Look at that. We beat Gobbies. Gobbies.
Rise, my elemental friend. Rise, my elemental friend.
Yep. Okay, so then he can search. So this is, you're gonna see the broken combo right here. Okay, so then he can search. So this is, you're gonna see the broken combo right here. He's gonna grab this. This is the card. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put all the goblin creature cards from among them with a current cost 5 or less onto the battlefield. So just basically just put all goblins on the battlefield. So just basically just put all. And you get the mana by sacrificing it with Skirk Prospector. And you get the mana by sacrificing it with Skirk Prospector. All right. So that helps. Alright, so he's attacking with a bunch of stuff. See how broken that is? It's a 1919 with haste. It's pretty broke. Alright, let's block that to that, or else we die. Let's block Chainwilla. Oh boy. It's not gonna help. I could Maelstrom Pulse all these. He would still win. Let me draw 2. Let me try to whack this for... How much can I whack this for? Cancel. 2. I can try it. Actually, let me back that up. Tap that. I'm gonna do it for 4. Yeah, there's no way we can win here. I'm trying to think. We growth spiral into what? Nothing. Alright, So we'll just do that. Yep, end turn. See how crazy this combo can get? Yeah. Look. Alright. Alright, good game. Q. Yeah, creatures of the chosen type get -3/-3 until end of turn. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, let's just reset here. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so extinction event's okay. We can take out Heartless Act. Actually, we can take out Eliminate. Go down to 2 Heartless Acts. And just go with which is Vengeance, Languish. And we can stop them in the early game. Maybe that will do it. Guys, we're just kind of doing this on the fly. I have not played this versus Goblins. So. Alright. With a mulligan down. This is a good opening hand. If I didn't have the muck a card. Keep 6. Castle Lockblade comes into play tapped. It is not a swamp. Bring that down. So we're just going to kill anything that he brings down, basically. Q. Alright, Dragon Summit. Drowned Catacombs. Okay, so we're in... Oh yeah, that's not a swamp. Duh. That was a misplay by me. Alright. So, what we're going to do here is take 2 damage. We're going to Euro Titan here. Into that. And just pass our turn. Alright. So we kind of got a little bit of an aggressive board here. He wants them to get haste. Did a blue. Growth Spiral. Four cards in our graveyard. Let's Growth Spiral. Extinction events. And turn. Now, I should be able to instantly kill that. Kill that. Just slow them down as much as we can in the early game. Bring that down. Bring out Euro Titan. See how well that will do. We'll drop that down. All right, Q. All right, so the Goblin deck's thinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're at a Pro Tour qualifier, so I don't care about that. I'm just glad. So hopefully that was just a bug with the server there. So this is like a demonic tutor. Whenever it enters the battlefield, Modern Horizons card. Willy Goblin. Two, three, three. So we're just gonna languish here. Pass our turn. Alright, gets another one. So it keeps on fetching for those. There's that broken thing. So he's got his fourth. He's gone through four of these, hasn't he? Yeah. So he's going to give haste. I'm going to draw a card here. We can do Witch's Vengeance here. Or we can wait till next turn. We'll just pull the trigger here. Goblin. Alright. Let's bring this guy down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's rip him for 4. Alright. Very, very tough to play versus Goblins. Alright, let's flush mana out of our deck. Have a forest. Let's drop this. We're gonna keep that one. Draw a card. Drop down the Triome land. Alright, let's keep this motor going with what, 1, 2, 3, 4? Just all about drawing cards and gaining life. Alright, there's the broken crap. God. Okay. Q. Alright. That's a lot of hate. I mean, that's 2, 3, 4. That's 7 board wipes. Jeez. So, let's see here. Cranium works pretty good. Heartless Axe do well. Thoughtseize does well too. Do we want the cultivates in here? I can do more early game removal. Until I get to the board wipers. Alright, guys. Cool. Okay, and a one-lander. Ooh, we're gonna have to keep it. Again, we're gonna have to take Nissa down. So hopefully you just got a slow start. Thoughtseize. Cultivates the card you want to take. But he might take like Euro Titan out or Ugin. Because we can massively ramp into Ugin very quickly. Okay. Alright, here we go. So, it's a horrible hand. Black. Black. So hopefully he doesn't kill us. They can kill you that fast. So, well, they're all odd. So that works for us. Yeah. So 3, 3. Okay, they're odd. All right. Conspicuous Snoop. How many cards do we have in our graveyard? Let me drop that. If I drop this 1, 2, 3, okay, no. Let me drop Nissa. Let's attack for 3. All right. So we're open. So let's see, Hydrate crosses for 2. So 2, I think 3, 4. Just draw 2 cards here. Draw into like a board wipe. Languish isn't bad. Grab that. All right, he's at 7. We can Languish next turn. All right. Did we beat Goblins? Did we beat Gobby? Yep, we did. Languish. Oh, I should attack for 4 in there first. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I should attack for 4 first. Oh, he quit. But yeah, beat Goblins. So if it wasn't for the shuffler, we'd be like 4-0. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. That would have been bad with Agent Treachery. All right, diving right to the next match. All right. So we're 2-2. Really? We could be 4-0. All right, so we'll actually go first. 3 out of 4 games we haven't. The suspense. Oh, gosh. They're always going first. All right. And reverse Lyris. Okay, cool. Or Rakdos. Arcanist. So this is going to be Rakdos Arcanist. Is it going to be Rakdos Arcanist? Is it? Is it? Yeah. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Outside interference, yeah. In my moment of glory. Yeah, now I'm living in a nightmare.
Yeah, couldn't said it best, Randy Savage. Alright, well. We can eliminate. So what they like to do, they can bring out the Arcanist. So let's just bring this out. Remember, people are going to take their time a little bit here. He's playing with a much more... I mean, the deck's pretty straightforward. Yeah, see, you just drop a creature down like that. Pretty straightforward. Since we didn't go first, like, if we would have went first, last turn we could have cultivated. And, oh, that would have been nuts. All right, but... Can we make a comeback? Oh, that's so sick, though. We could be 4-0. I'm ready to puke. He can Village Rights it. Sack it. Draw 2 cards. Yep. Right on cue. Alright, always check their graveyard. Because claim, he brings that down. Okay. Let's see if we can get a... Let's get this out of our hand here. This is where this deck becomes utterly dangerous. I'll describe it in a second. They can literally attack and just grab a card, instant or sorcery card. So they can grab like something like thoughtseize and just keep on pounding your hand. So let's see if we can kill that thing. Draw into a kill spell. We do not. We fail to do that. And he just got really lucky with 3 thoughtseizes sitting at top of his library. Yeah, it was just luck. Nothing we could do about that. Let's see, had we got first, we probably could have gotten ugin on this battlefield. You get ugin on the battlefield versus this deck, they lose. They lose. They can't. Ugin's got too high of casting cost or loyalty, and they can't deal with it. But had we went first, that's the beauty of going first. I mean, not what we could do about that, so just gotta play with what we're dealt. It's okay if they pause and think. I mean, I don't mind it at all. Alright, Priest of Forgotten Gods. We do draw a kill spell. He's tapped out. So, can we get greedy here? Go 1, 2, 3. Cultivate, grab a green. Grab another blue. Put a blue down. Get a green. Destroy that. Yeah, 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 I got rid of that. Had to. See how the deck functions when you actually get mana? We beat Goblins. We just beat it last game. Oh, and he got his fourth thought. He got 4 thoughtseizes. Wow. Holy God. Within his first 17 cards. Alright, look. 1, 2, 3. Nope. He had to put 1 in exile. 4. What are the odds of that? Look, there's R2 at the R2 was at the bottom. It's at the bottom of our library. All right, Coup. He could have claimed the firstborn. I don't want to play into that, but he just took our, like, if we got Ugin on the battlefield, the game would have been over. There was only one card he could possibly get out of 42. Very, very low odds. I mean, he's probably got to claim the firstborn. Let's just be honest here. I'll probably top deck like a land or something. I'm just gonna bring this out, so if he makes a sack or creature. That was so sick. He had a 1 in 43 no, he had a 1 in 44 chance. God, he needs to play the lottery. Yep. Yep, and of course he's... Is there something that this guy is not going to top deck? That's... Well... I mean, we got board wipes, like, in this deck galore. Let's see here. Full block. I mean, this is going to die anyway. He's going to sack it. I mean, it's just dead anyway. He's going to sack it. Unless he's got another Village Rites, which would be a God draw. Because he's already used Village Rites. He's got Kroxa. God. Well... The top deck gods are with him. And we get a Heartless Act. Alright, so he's going to cast this next turn. Oh, look at that. Yeah, let's just get everything out of her hand. Well, that was uneventful. Alright, he's going to bring down Kroxa. He's going to make me take 3. I'm already going to have to discard this. He's going to cast this out, make me discard this. In response, I could kill Kroxa. In response, I'm actually going to kill that. Because we draw a card and then we'll attack with Euro. Because he's already been through what? All of his thoughts. He's a young Pyromancer. Which means... Okay. Oh, that was a good... he milled an Arcanist, so we gotta be careful with Lurrus. Oh, Lurrus is in his hand. I didn't even realize that. No, all my Ugins are gone. I only have 2 Ugins in the deck. Yeah, in Historic, nobody's actually playing with Ugins. So, we're smoked. Oh boy. Alright, so I have a lot of board wipes in the deck. Let me see here. So, would you say a deck with at least 90% win rate before turn 8? Sub 8 Mythic players. Let's see here. I'll get to the question in a second. Yeah, no, all my Ugins, they're buried. So every meta has its own, or every rank has its own meta. All right, so they got extremely lucky. They got 4 thoughtseizes in their first 15 cards. Okay, so you're asking, all right, would you say a deck with at least a 90% win rate before turn 8? Well, in historic decks are like, so if you see my last matchup in Goblins, I don't know if you're in standard or historic, but like historic right now, like you have to, like the Goblin deck can beat you turn 4, right? So turn 8, that's rough. Now if you're in standard, I mean standard's just so hard right now. You have like, you know, Sultai, pretty dominant in standard. Yeah, that's tough. You know, because each rank has its own meta. That's why you'll see a deck like in like gold rank. All right, so he's playing Rakdos. Let me sideboard for a second here. Okay, board in thoughtseize. So let me take this out. Board in thoughtseize. Got Maelstrom Pulse. Alright, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the higher you go up, the more you're going to start seeing the same type of decks, really. Well, let me do this. Let me see. They might have a thoughtseize. Like, Grohl's a decent deck, so I guess I'll thoughtseize. They're thoughtseize. Yep, the rest, I'm guessing he'll just take that. Yeah, so like gold, like each meta, like I said, has its own different rank. Like gold will have different than platinum. Platinum and diamond, I'd probably say right now, the current state of standard, there's not much difference. But like once you really hit in the diamond, like that can be like the hard spot. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but it's really hard to just run one deck. And what's his top deck thoughtseize stuff? Jeez, he had 4 last. All right. Let's see here. We'll take this. Yeah, I guess I'll take that. Put that at the bottom. Yeah, I can take a look at the deck list. Austin. Let's see here. So he's got Priest of Forgotten Gods, Claim. It's okay that our opponent's taking time. I mean, we're in a Pro Tour qualifier here. So I don't mind it. Oh, I was saying I could take a look at it. The deck. Yeah, let's see here. Alright, so if I play with... Here's a problem. So he's got Claim the Firstborn in his hand. Right? Okay, so if I bring down Nissa, he can claim the Firstborn, my mana, and then just attack Nissa with it. That's what he's probably likely to do. So I'm going to bring down Nissa. Yeah, because what he's going to do is claim the Firstborn, my crap. Give this +2. You know what? I have to take a chance. I can't sit here like a lame duck. I just got to hope he doesn't top deck a land. But his top decks has just been utterly good. He had 4 thoughtseizes in his first 15 cards last game. He's already got 2 this and a duress in his first 11. So his top decks has just been really good there. So you can drop down Priest. Wow, okay. Our land's not so hot. So what we'll have to do is continue flushing out our lands. And hopefully... Let's see here. So he's got Priest of Forgotten Gods, Young Pyromancer. He's got Flame, so target creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste till end turn, or return target creature. I think he's going to want to claim here. Yeah. Probably claim. Attack sack. Or use it for mana. Alright. So... yeah, we just got land. That's all we got. He's got another thoughtseize? So, oh wait, hold up. He had 4 thoughts. Hold up. So wait, he had 4 thoughtseizes in his first 15 cards last game. He's got 3 thoughtseizes in his first 15 this game. Right. Sounds about right. Wow. Alright. Wow, we got... We only got 1, 2, 3, 4 spells? 5? Alright, so if I thoughtseize him, I take 2. Alright. Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen a person so lucky. It doesn't matter. I think, yeah, this game's over. I don't think I've seen a player so lucky with their draws, with the top decks. Like, I don't know how you can get so lucky. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad tournament. That was horrible. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Well, guys, I'm not gonna rant here. Yeah. I didn't like the quality of the tournament. I would say, at Austin, you know, YouTube took away the messaging feature. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers now doing the Patreon thing, because you can actually message them through there. I just don't want to set up a thing where people have to pay to message me. But yeah, YouTube took that feature away. So it's kind of harsh. You could, let me see. what you could do is pop it in the comment section, maybe. So you got 4 ops, 3 unsummons, 2 wishing wells, 2 anticipates, 2 MTGs. So it's kind of a you're really just trying to get to your to not really deck yourself, but you're trying to get as close as possible that you can to deck yourself. So if you can't deck it, yeah, it's an interesting deck. I mean, are you going up against Sultai a lot? Like, let me see, what is Sultai? I mean, that's Sultai in Historic. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I'm trying to grab a Sultai deck that I haven't. Okay. Let me just go there. Sultai's evolved a little bit here, but it's like a rough standard Sultai deck. I mean, Casualties of War isn't really played that much anymore. Ugin's not really played that much anymore. They'll play like Tameo, stuff like that. But within generality, this is what you're looking at. What does Final Revelation do? Yeah. Here's the thing. So you're gonna be, yeah. So you're gonna start to be playing against Sultai quite a bit. So the one thing they do play with is Narset quite heavily. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So, I mean, in fact, this is starting to become a main board. So, Sultai's a rough matchup all around. So I'm going to guess, let's see. Prison Bar, Baron. A Water Knot. Let me see. I'm just trying to get so. Is there another spelling for water knot? Because I'm trying to think what that does. Yeah, because if I type in the word water, I just come up with these right here. So for 3, it just comes in play, taps a creature, pretty much. We'll just put untap. Get rid of white. Oops. I know there's these guys right here. See, it doesn't untap. Oh, you know what? I think I played versus that deck. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Yeah, they were, yeah, so, yeah, their devotion to Nyx Lotus. No, I've only played versus it, I think, one time. And I believe how they ran it is they had, in their mana base, they had let me just put get rid of that. They had Lotus Field, and I think they had a way. They had, I don't know if it was a cycle card or something like that, or they were able to untap it. So it was like draw, Lotus Field, and then they would get you with, so they'd bring out like the artifact where you have Devotion, you tap that, which I think you have in your deck. Nyx Lotus. They'd untap Lotus Field, like tap it, untap it. and just pretty much just I remember playing the deck very vaguely. It might be something like yours, slightly different. I just remember losing to it because it kind of catches you off guard. You know what I mean? It kind of catches you off guard. And I think I was playing with that's with a Gruul. When that happened. Yeah, so it's like Charm Sleep. Okay, yeah. So like because what you're I've been in Historic for playing Historic for about a week and a half. But the last time I was really in Standard, I mean, I saw high amounts of Sultai. I can't imagine that's changed. So I've seen like Sultai. It was like Sultai, Rakdos. Red Deck Wins was starting to come back. It was kind of like on the shelf for a little bit. But like, how does the deck fare versus Rakdos? Because like let me just give you a perspective. So versus Sultai, here's a Mardu Knights deck I just call Kyle. It's just I like South Park, but versus Sultai, like my curb is 1.8. With 34 creatures, and then you have Gigantha, which is 35. And this deck's not fast enough to beat Sultai consistently. Good news, the deck doesn't really rotate, but so this Sultai is really tough. Like, and that's what you're going to be bumping your head against, like Rakdos, Sultai. I mean, how are you versus Rakdos and Sultai? I mean, the good news is it doesn't look, well, Jace of Wielder of Mysteries. So there's two things I'd ask you. How often are you playing versus Rakdos and Sultai? And how are you doing versus those decks? And secondarily to that, how dependent are you on Jace, Wilder Mysteries? I only say that because, you know, Jace, he rotates out. So if you're dependent on Jace pretty heavily, you find yourself like that bails you out quite a bit. I'd hate to see you craft a deck. I mean, it looks like a fun deck. I know I played something against it once, but it seems like you're trying to come at it from like a competitive standpoint. I'd hate to see you burn through wild cards if you're relying on Jace and it rotates, and it's like, well, so are you running like Kiora? Like, you're not running Kiora. Seabest. See, I think that's what that deck did to me, if I remember it right. It had that Lotus Bloom. They'd untap it, drop down the Kiora Seabest. And that was a nasty deck. I'm starting to remember a little bit of it now. But yeah, if you have a rotation proof, man, like that's the thing. Like because of the Zendikar lands, like with the flip lands, so let me get to those because I kind of have those on the screen. Like, you know, these flippers. Oops, that's the party dude. You know, mana's going to be pretty good. So yeah, I mean, so if I would say, how do you handle the Rakdos, and then how do you handle Sultai? Well, Sultai, let me put it this way. Sultai will, I mean, I think it's still going to stay to some extent. Because you got, I mean, I already have plans for, because you have Lotus Cobra, and I just don't think people really respect how good this is going to be. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. So you're getting 2 lands, basically. So I could say Sultai's, you know, would go away, but with the Zendikar lands and also Lotus Cobra, I think Sultai's, it won't have Nissa in it. It won't be as powerful, but it'll still, I think it'll get pushed a little bit again. But needless to say, I don't think Sultai will be as strong, because Sultai loses Arbor Grazer. It loses a lot. I mean, yeah, it's going to lose Nissa. Yeah, Liliana Dreadhoard's gone. But it's still got pieces. So, I think what you're getting at, I mean, are you just struggling right now through Diamond? Oh, well, I mean, if you're not struggling in Diamond, I would just play it. I just run it through. I mean, honestly, especially if you have fun with the deck, you know what I mean? Like a great example, when I had my Growl deck at number 52, right? Like I was ranked number 52. Yeah, let me see if I have the pieces to that left. All right, so that's just all historic. It was kind of like this deck, minus these and some other things. But anyway, what I kept on doing, just to be honest, I grabbed the deck. Like I had fun with Gruul, and I just kept on like adding to it, changing the sideboard, readjusting things, and like if you go look at my playlist, I think I have like a Gruul playlist. And like literally 49 hours of just playing in the top 1500. Like most people, when they get in the top 1500, they kind of park it so they don't like lose their ranking that much. But I just kept on going, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. What I'm trying to say is that other people would try to replicate my Gruul deck, right? Because I got published on MTG Goldfish and all that type of stuff. So like people would try to copy the Gruul deck, and some did well with it and some struggled. And I got some questions about like, well, how come it's not working as good for me as it is you? Well, that's just because I knew exactly what I was doing. Like I knew why I was playing 3 Domri's ambushes as opposed to 4. I knew why I was running at the time. This is the historic version, but I was running 3 Gruul Spellbreakers. I only had, I knew what matchups to swap what out in. So I knew exactly what to do. Because I played so many matches with it. So if you enjoy the deck and you get it rotation proof, unless you're going to eke out every wild card that you have, I mean, I'd build it. Especially if you're having a lot of fun with it. Now, obviously, the obvious deck is Temur Clover, right? I mean, that's going to be a deck because of the Zendikar lands. So Temur Adventure, this deck 120, 107. It's 107. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I mean, this deck isn't really going anywhere with the Zendikar lands. So, I mean, I'd probably ask yourself, how do you think it would look? Because this is immediately going to be a top 4 deck. Then that that little thing that can kill you really quick, that red. I mean, the fact that you have 21 land, that's actually not that bad. Because you have, I think you have draw outlets, don't you? Let me see here. Yeah, 4 opt. Yeah. So how the shuffler works is that it prioritizes your opening hand, and then after that, it doesn't matter. But it works by prioritizing your opening hand to where if you mulligan once, you should get 2 land. So that's how decks like Red Deck wins. You know, you might wonder, like, how does a deck with 20 land just always seem to hit their curves, right? Oh, it's because you're almost guaranteed 2 land if you mulligan once. So then you just have to find a way to get to your 3rd and 4th. Stuff like that. So what people will do in the red deck is use things like... I'll go to red that I hate. They'll use Runaway Steamkin as a vehicle to get mana. They'll use light up the stage to be able to draw cards. So essentially, what the Is It Flash decks will do, they'll run like 18 land, and they'll just use Opt in that one card where it gives everything trample and draw a card. It's for 1 red. That crashed through. And so they're able to get to their 3rd and 4th land by just burning through cards, and then, you know, yeah. And so they can kind of, I hate to say it, manipulate the way the shuffler is designed, because it prioritizes your opening hand. So those decks can actually get away with running like just 18 and just burning through crash throughs and burning through ops. Of course, they have the Arcanist in the deck, and then they have they have the Arcanist there, but that'll rotate out. But they still have a lot of good pieces. Royal Scions, all the Prowess that comes into play from M21, the Prowess card. That dude right there, Stormwing Entity. And that deck can just... That's a quick kill with this deck. So... So if you're not cashing out all your wild cards, craft the deck. I just say go for it. If you have fun with it, that's the important part. I mean, I think that's the important part. I mean, if you're looking for like an instant what's going to be good deck, I mean, obviously, again, that goes back to Lucky Clover. But it's a tough tell. Yeah, I just say go for it. Yeah, I mean, I would just say go for it. I mean, especially if you have fun with it and stuff like that. I mean, what was your concern with the deck? Yeah, I mean, it'd be like, what's your concern with the deck? Okay. As of right now, I'm trying to visualize the deck a little bit better. Oh, let me see. I mean, it runs off, yeah, Wishing Well, Anticipate, Omen of the Sea, Oracle, Brazen Borrower, Chadwick, Insight. So yours is kind of like the blue deck that I mentioned. They just went about it a little differently. They used Lotus Bloom somehow. There's a card. There's a card in the game where you can like cycle, untap something, and so they would just tap the Lotus Bloom for 3, untap it. So they'd have 5 mana just right off Lotus Bloom. And then just all heck broke loose. But I've only played against it once. As far as would it hold up in Mythic rank, right now I would say, like, again, Sultai would probably be not the greatest matchup. Oops, because let me see. Yeah, because Sultai. I mean, the thing with Sultai, they're main boarding Narset. So typically, like what you'll see now is they're not even playing with Ugin. It's too slow. Even with Nissa in the format, it's too slow. So what a lot of people are doing is they're not even playing with Ugin anymore. They're playing with like they'll basically flop Ugin over, you know, bring in Narsets. And each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. And they can ramp into that pretty quickly. Oops, this is like old school, like from a month ago. Sultai. But if you've already made it, like if you're just like 4 rares away, or Mythic, and it's not going to kill everything that you have, I mean, you really have nothing to lose by making it. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of Sultai. If you haven't already. Because Diamond gets a little rough. Because pretty much, let me see something really quick. My head's been in Historic, but let me see something really quick. Okay, nope, not it. Just trying to find something really quick. I trust Star City a lot better. Let's see, yeah, it doesn't look like it changed. I'm just looking at the last couple tournaments in Standard. Yeah, I mean, Sultai placed 5 out of the top 8. Radko slid in there. Shockingly, Mono Green did, but I mean, I'll put it this way: if you're blowing through people and you're having fun, I'd make it. How will it hold up in Mythic rank? With the current meta, every deck's trying to kill turn 4, turn 5. With the exception of Sultai. I mean, they're just really controlling you the game. And that's just because they banned Teferi. They banned Teferi Time Raveler. So, like, Bant Control. Bant Control would stabilize Sultai. And then Blue-White Control would stabilize Sultai. But since they blew up Temur Rec, which they should have, but they also blew up Bant Control, and then also slowed down Blue-White Control. So now Sultai can kind of run reckless. Because there's nothing to stop. There's nothing really to stop it unless you just play another Sultai deck. So that's kind of the issue right now. So if I'm being honest, we'll hold up in higher tiers. Probably not as well as what you're experiencing based upon what you wrote. But I mean, if you can play, it just goes back to what I told you. You got, and that's something you're gonna have to answer yourself. Like, how do you do versus Radkos? How do you do versus Sultai? And like Lucky Clover and stuff like that, because that's really what you start to see a lot more of. So if you don't do well versus those decks, then I'd probably say no. It's not gonna hold up too well, but I don't think it'll be a dud either. Yeah, then I would just go ahead and craft it. Because it kind of sounds like you already kind of have, you already like the deck, and I mean, I'll show you this. Okay, so the number 1 deck is Goblins in Historic. I have the deck. Right, I have it. See, I have the whole thing. Hold on. Sorry about that, but yeah. Basically, my opinion on that. Like, so you look at the Goblin deck. I mean, I could have played this. I mean, honestly, it's literally. I just look at the stats in Historic. It's the number one. It's like the number one deck in the tournament that I just played in, right? Because it's pretty much a guaranteed turn 4, turn 5 kill, and they have a lot of ways to get to that. But I don't enjoy playing the deck. But yeah, it's so like for me, I didn't have fun playing with it. So I didn't play with it. And I crafted, what, 23 wild cards to finish it off. And I wish I didn't. So if you like it, just go with it. Because what would you rather have? A deck that you can craft? Yeah, it's good. It's you know, tier 1. But you don't enjoy playing with it or against it. So, because if you're not having fun playing the game, you'll just burn out. Especially with the coronavirus and everything, people playing like 10, 20 matches a day. In real life, you might play, 10 matches a week. So, if you went to like FNM or played in a tournament. So, realistically, I think a lot of people are just getting player fatigued. So yeah, if you like it, it's doing okay for you, try it and add new things to it and see how it goes. Or else you'll be stuck like me with this deck. I'd take all the wild cards back if I could. So I don't know if that helps you out, but that's what I'd probably steer towards. I mean, yeah. So if it's doing good versus Rakdos and Sultai, then that's a good sign. So I hope that answers your question, man. So I'd go for it. But alright guys, well yeah, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. I think those that came along in the chat along the way, Shuffler kind of got us a little bit, but yeah, feel free to subscribe. If not, I'll be winding things down now because I'm pretty much done. But until next video, I will see you guys later. Yeah, and thanks Austin too at the end of the day for your question. Hopefully I answered it well, but I'd go ahead and do it. Seems like you like it, so I'd go ahead and do it. Alright guys, thank you for watching.